Besides, I mean, we're ready. We're ready to compete. We're looking forward to the NCAA tournament. We're excited about it. We still have a couple more days to tighten down a couple things. I do think you can get a little bit better in a couple days as far as just tightening down your skills and really knowing how you're going to wrestle and address your first opponent. Our guys are qualified for the tournament, but they're not in the tournament. We're really stressing you got to win that first match to be in the tournament. So that's really what our focus is concentrating on the tactics that we're going to use for each and every opponent that we have first round. And it's my first time actually seeing the brackets come out this early in the NCAA tournament, and I like it. I think it creates a lot of excitement for fans, and it actually allows us even more preparation time for specific individuals and to look forward in the tournament and kind of guess at who you might have in those next rounds. But that's something that we don't address at all with the athletes because that tournament falls out funny. You never know who's going to advance, and just to have a pre-scout list of guys that you could wrestle in those next couple rounds is important. But at the same time, winning that first match and getting that first match under your belt is important. And then once we're in the tournament, continue to do what we need to do to win our next match.
The 2 weeks between Big 12s and NCAAs, how can you build and improve during that time?
Well, that's a lot of time. I mean, our focus, our goal, where we want to peak at was not the Big 12 tournament. We want to peak at the NCAA tournament. So what we could do is we could learn from the Big 12, and obviously we didn't have our best performance at the Big 12, but I just think it's kind of, sometimes you get, like the basketball tournament, you get a #1 seed that gets beaten in their conference tournament, and they go on and they perform well at the NCAA tournament. And I think it's the same situation. You always learn more from losses than wins. So what the Big 12 did for us, it showed us some things that we have to make sure that we're in tune to, that we need to make sure that we address, and we're able to do some things that we didn't do at the Big 12 tournament. And that time, 2 weeks, allowed us to do that. Also, it just allowed us to perfect our skills and our techniques and the things that we think we need to do to win at the NCAA tournament. So that 2 weeks is enough time to reload, to refocus, to get better, and to improve on a lot of things. And so that two-week period actually helped us a lot.
What were some of those things you had to work on coming out of the conference tournament?
Well, I think some of our guys lost sight of what our philosophy is, and that's to be complete wrestlers and to wrestle in every position and to score in the first period. I really think that scoring in the first period is going to be huge for us going to this NCAA tournament, because there's a tendency in these kind of events for guys to get tight and to wrestle a little conservative, and you get those 0-0 matches. When you watch the Big 12s, we had a tendency to wrestle a little tight and not get our points in those first periods, and so we have to get back to that mentality. And I think the Big 12s allowed us to look at that and to understand that, because wrestling hasn't changed. The guy that scores first, majority of the time, is going to win those matches. And then just some other philosophies as far as riding and escaping and just being technically correct and in positions that we should win were things that we came back and focused on.
Coach, the young guys, how are they handling kind of the first time feeling going in? I know Long had a good measure of success this year. Jensen's had kind of a mixed bag after getting thrown in. Do you do anything with them to kind of help them stay even keel going into this thing?
Well, I think what we've tried to do all year is explain to them exactly what they're gonna be up against, what they're gonna face, what they're gonna see, the positions they're gonna get into, and the environment that's going to surround them. And the NCAA tournament, though, you got to feel it, so their eyes are going to get opened either tonight or tomorrow, depending on what time we bring those guys down. They're gonna feel the energy and the excitement, but we've tried to stress to control your emotions and let your emotions show on the mat on Thursday. But it's going to affect you a couple of different ways, but we're just trying to continue to push the message to stay focused, to relax until it's time not to relax, till it's time to open up and get after a guy. And so they're going to deal with it. Everyone deals with it differently. Jake's running around here just like it's Christmas. He's excited, man, and I like that. I'm excited. I think as an athlete, this is the tournament that you look forward to. It's the national tournament, and all these guys have been in national tournaments before, whether it's this one or whether it's Fargo or what have you. And I just think it's an exciting time, but you have to always maintain control of your emotions, because it could cost you some energy that you might need in a match.
do you see Mueller as being really motivated to finally become an All-American and,
Yes.
and really do some good big things?
I'm excited for Mitch Mueller. You know, what we've stressed is that this opportunity doesn't come along often, and these guys have gone through 4 NCAA tournaments, a lot of them, and this is their last opportunity. This is his last opportunity to become an All-American or national champion, and we're stressing national champion because we think he has those type of skills, and we think he's continue to get better. I'm interested to see what he's going to do out there because I think he really is capable, and like I said, we stress the opportunity that presents itself. You look at a guy like Nick Gallick that might not get this opportunity again, and now it would have been a lost year, and he didn't receive the opportunity. And for our younger guys, you know, we're stressing that you might not ever get this opportunity again. Look at the situation that Nick's in. So it's an opportunity that must be taken advantage of. We don't want to look back at the tournament and say we woulda, coulda, shoulda, you know. But I think we had that at the Big 12. We're looking back, we coulda, woulda, shoulda, and those are the worst words in sports. So so that's not what we're focused on. We're focused on going out there and wrestling the way we've been trained. And if Mitch does that, I'm going to be happy with his results because I really do think he's capable.
Kevin, a couple of close calls with Iowa and duels, and you know, wrestle close to them at the Midlands. I mean, what do you think it's going to, you know, take to overtake them?
10 All-Americans. It's going to take 10 All-Americans to beat them. No, I mean, you know, like I said, that tournament falls out a couple funny ways. But you just never know what's going to happen. But what it's going to take is going to take all-out, complete wrestling. It's going to take our best effort. It's going to take the best, strongest, best effort, the most technical, tactical wrestling that we've done all year. And that's what we've pointed towards, is for this to be the highlight of our year, for us to wrestle our very, very best in this event. For these next 3 days, for the next 3 days at the NCAA tournament, we have to wrestle at the highest level that we've ever wrestled at in our lives. And that's what it's going to take to beat those guys. And even if we do that, you know, they have a few more numbers than we do. So we're still going to have to perform. But the thing I like about it, that if the tournament falls out correctly, we might control our own destiny when it comes to Iowa State. And but like, you know, Oklahoma State's in the mix. You know, Cornell's in the mix, and you know, we just have to take care of ourselves. If we take care of ourselves and worry about what we're going to do individually, and then that team thing takes care of itself, we're going to be fine.
Jake Varner kind of guy you point to and say, for the other guys, is this an example of what it takes to be a champion? For sure,
And Jake carries himself that way. I mean, the way Jake approaches every dual meet, that way he approaches every tournament, the way he's approaching this NCAA tournament, I'm having to calm him down. He's bubbling with excitement. He can't wait to get his hands on someone and make his run at his 4th NCAA final and try to win his 2nd national championship. But he shares some information with these guys as well. He shares his experience and with these guys, and he's done some things correct to make it to 4 NCAA finals. So he's been a valuable asset to our overall program and to our development as a team. But he's a guy that we, you know, and I think if you watch him wrestle, and you've watched him wrestle, he's not standing back and waiting for things to happen. He's imposing his will and forcing his actions on his opponents, and that's what we have to do. We have to impose our will, force our actions, control all tie-ups, get off the bottom, and we just have to scrap, and we just have to scrap. And if we do that, we're going to be fine.
Zabrisky's shown he can beat the top guys, and now he is the top guy, and the top seed. Can that hold this week?
It better. I mean, you know, we don't like to see Z wrestle so many overtime matches, but you know, as this year's gone on and we've gotten into some overtime matches, I find myself, instead of being a little nervous, starting to think, yeah, he's going to win another one like this. And fortunately for us, it happened at the Big 12s. I would not like to see us end up in too many of those at the NCAA tournaments. I think it lessens your percentage on winning when you wrestle those type of matches. So I'm confident he can win that way. I think he is the best heavyweight in the country. I truly believe that. But I know in this tournament that the best wrestler doesn't always win. The guy that's the best for these next 3 days are going to be the guys that win. So so he's capable. His expectations is to walk away with the national championship. I think his performance last year, he fueled his fire this year, and he learned a lot from it. And I think when you look at his career and when you look at this year, his losses are the quality guys. I mean, he lost to the #1 ranked kid at the kid's own home, and he lost to, I think, the #4 or 5th ranked kid. The kid just lost in his conference.